beneath the palace walls, the monster rages,
foams, crawls,
calling out again and again.
Mother! Mother!
No other sound but the scrape of horn on stone,
the grinding crunch of human bone under calloused human foot.
Bull
by David Elliott.
Book 1.
What up, bitches? It's your boy, Poseidon.
Big Daddy P, God of the sea.
And horses.
Am I right or am I right? That bum Minos deserved what he got.
I may be a god, but I'm not unreasonable.
And what I am,
So what? Reason's got nothing to do with it. But let's get back to where it all started. Minos comes to me, mewing like a baby, frowny faced, heavy hearted.
He's got a hunger, he says.
A hankering,
a Jones.
A thing.
But not for a woman.
This jerk wants to be king.
Of Crete.
All this clown wants is a little power. He's got an appetite for obedience, but no imagination. And he doesn't ask for much.
Just his own private nation. So he wonders if I give the people an omen, a sign. Something impressive, he says.
Something divine.
Anything to prove he's the royal man for the job.
So what the hell I think? I'm gonna help this slob.
So a milk-white bull comes walking out of the wine-dark sea.
The oldest trick in the book, a piece of cake, but it doesn't take much to bring you mortals to your knees.
Yeah, you're hard to respect, but easy to please. So Minos gets it all.
The palace. The power.
But all of a sudden, he won't play nice.
He was supposed to sacrifice that bull
To me! Poseidon, baby!
King of the sea!
Tamer of horses.
Old Earthshaker!
and one hell of a troublemaker when some jerk shirks his responsibility and won't keep his word.
So this Minos, this king, this two-faced turd hid my bull and sacrificed another, like I'm some kind of mutt. That guy's all ego.
But I'm all in. He needed something he'd remember his whole stinking life. That's why I bypassed him and went after his wife.
Look, Daedalus, I'm the queen, Minos' wife. It all belongs to me, including your life. Which, if you want to keep, you'll do what I ask. It isn't much, this little task I have in mind. Build me a cow of wood and hide, life-size but hollow. Then I'll crawl inside and...
Her voice trailed away. No need to say more. We all knew what she wanted.
That's a
natural whore. The way she raved in the palace, begging, desperate, depraved. She had no regard for reputation or rank. But that's not the worst part, let me be frank. It wasn't her husband she wanted, no such luck. It was Poseidon's bull she was begging to... Look, I'm not uptight, to each his own and all that. But this was too much. I should have flat out said no, I won't do it. But she was the queen. In the end, I said screw it. And I built the thing to her sordid specifications. The rest I'll leave to your imaginations.
Sexy.
You want me to feel ashamed? Point fingers, blame the gods responsible for that beastly possession? But you'll get no apology from me, no tears, no confession. I know what I know. I know what I see. None of you is that different from me.
Let's keep the narrative going. We'll skip the part when the queen starts showing it. Oh, didn't I mention it? That horny, unnatural, perverted coitus produced an unnatural,
even hornier, fetus.
Her labor, I hear, was excruciating. With all the pushing,
Contracting.
dilated.
They say the queen swore.
Like a red-faced barbarian son of a...
If it were me, I'd have a cesarean.
Oh, forgot to say, for what it's worth,
I don't think they announced the birth.
They said it was all a dream. I remember the midwives afraid to leave, afraid to stay their mournful stop, silenced by the sudden bellow of his first breath. I held him, saw the blazed star-shaped points that marked his forehead, separating his eyes. Terrified, I named him Asterion, ruler of the stars. I couldn't believe he'd come for me. It was mine.
10 little fingers, 10 little toes.
Nails soft and translucent. His
His neck already strong.
The heavy horned head, shaggy the muzzle, the long sensitive ears.
Throw him from the angry cliffs.
They said, feed him to the hungry sea. They said,
Set him down in the dung of the fields alone.
Better the gods have it.
they said, but I wouldn't, couldn't. Didn't they understand he was my first? My bully boy, my beautiful, beautiful master.
Well, I gotta say, this is turning out so much better than I ever expected. She loves the thing.
Perfect! Though I think I detected a wee bit of instability there. It doesn't take a shrink to realize a link, or two, is missing from that chain.
Of course I can't blame her. The labor, the pain, all that overwrought human emotion. It's embarrassing, the motherly notion that her baby is beautiful.
But I've got a little something planned for her, bully brat.
But the actual criminal say in all this has been rather minimal. So far, not a peep.
It's not my fault deciding such a child.
Boo!
The queen defiled, and all because I didn't keep my word. It is absurd to think that I got off scot-free. She paid, not me. Still, I feel a secret thrill, a dirty joy in whipping boy, or in this case, the loyal whipping wife. There is one minor complication, the abomination.
So Minos thinks he dodged a bullet.
I should give him my finger and tell him to pull it.
Well, let's jump ahead a couple of years.
There's been a lot of blood, perspiration, and tears around the palace since the freak was born.
Minos wants to put him out to graze, an idea I think is not so bad. A boy should spend time with his dad.
But Passabe, still half crazed, won't hear of such a thing.
Book 2.
Asterion, age 3.
Mommy has a little calf,
Little calf, little calf.
Mommy has a little calf, his nose is black as tar. She calls her calf Asterion,
Asterion, Asterion, that's my name, Asterion, I'm ruler of the stars.
In his eyes, I see the sun. I see the moon. I see the stars and all the tilted, whirling galaxies. I see undiscovered constellations. I see the earth. I see nations. I see the past. And sometimes, in the middle of the night, I see dead ends in dark, foul, twisting paths, awash with the fast and bitter flow of innocent blood.
That woman is definitely off her nut.
Oh, it's easy to love the darling diminutive, but I've lived long enough to know just how wrong it can go.
The boys had a few playmates, palace whelps forced to pretend, but in the end they turned on him, as children will do. Savages, really. Brutes through and through.
Well, time will tell. We'll wait and see.
But sometimes you mortals disgust even me.
Asterion, age 9.
These horns are heavy on my woolly head. My tongue is rough and thick, it's hard to speak. I can't stop hearing all the things they said when they called me
Bully boy.
and
Freak.
sometimes it makes me wish I were dead. My mom says it's because I'm unique that makes them laugh and say those awful things. Instead of horns, I wish I'd sprouted wings. I'd fly away. I'd leave them all behind. Then they'd look up instead of down on me. They'd stare into the sun. I'd feel the wind rising up beneath me from the sea. And I'd be happy.
But let's move this thing along. He's older now, healthy, strong. Most days he spends inside, discovering that it's better to hide from the light than face its bright humiliation.
But sometimes you could find him in the fields or walking along the shore, lost in meditation.
Asterion,
age 12.
What I hate, mirrors, hats, the looks, the king, light. What I love, the sea, the sky, my books, the queen, night.
The good news, he's finding comfort in solitude, and I'm glad that he's reading because, let's face it,
Reading ain't on his dance card.
The bad news, he started making lists, the gist of which is, well, it's not a good sign.
I'd be worried if he were mine.
Asterion, age 14.
I wonder if I'll ever understand what I am or what one day I'll be. A fish, a fowl, a bull, a beast, a man, a superstar? A gross monstrosity? Minos says I'm nothing more than nothing.
Okay. It's sad. But let's not forget the way the river runs.
The
sins of the father are inflicted on the sons.
By the way, by now, he's the oldest of 8.
That royal uterus is clearly first rate.
And so I'd like to extend my heartfelt congratulations, especially since the respective copulations were normal.
Boring.
Meaning the queen wasn't whoring around with 4-legged beasts.
The siblings have their brother's eyes, but not his horns. The first is born not long after Asterion. Minos dubbed his son Androgeus. The boy's an athlete.
A stud.
A hottie.
A quarterback.
Boom! Boom! Firepower!
Ariadne was next, a member of the fairer sex and the apple of her father's beady eye.
We'll ignore the others and quit with the family dirt. It's time we got back to that taurine squirt.
Asterion, age 17.
Fish, fowl, beast, man? Tell me if you can. Man, beast, fowl, fish, I want, I long, I cry, I wish. Beast, man, fish, fowl, watch me dance, hear me howl. Fish, fowl, man, beast, I need a fix, I need a priest. They're in heaven, I'm in hell.
Awkward. Of all my heirs, the one I love the most, Androgeus. That's all that didn't fall far from the tree. He's rough, like me. Then there's Ariadne. What a beauty! She'll do her duty one day soon and marry a great prince. As for that deformed atrocity, just wait and see. Pasiphae can't coddle him forever. I soon will sever the cord that binds that horror show. And she'll let go. I know the queen. She'll forget about him and return to life and me. Without him.
Ignorant self! Anointed fool! He thinks he knows me? But no one knows the hard, tight knot of my heart.
Oh, I guess I forgot to mention, there's been a wee bit of marital tension between the king and his spouse.
Big surprise! Since one of them's a lunatic and the other is a louse.
Minos has banned Asterion from the palace and the table.
He lives in a shack now, an old stable.
Minos sent me to this shepherd's hut. I spend my time here sleeping, thinking, reading. The solitude is sometimes crushing, but he will not break my spirit. I keep repeating that wherever there is life, there is hope. One day my fate will change. Till then, I'll cope. But I cannot understand where she might be. The queen, my mother, she who gave me life. Was Minos right? Did she abandon me? Oh, mother, why don't you come for me? Oh, mother, mother, where are you?
Oedipus much.
Not to worry, chickadees, our hero's not totally alone.
Fortune, not me, has thrown him a bone.
He has a daily visitor. It's Ariadne, his half-sister.
She's both compassionate and tempestuous. But that's not to say these meetups are incestuous.
Aww.
She's simply angry at the way her brother's been treated.
She comes to give him hope and to prevent his feeling so utterly defeated and to commiserate about their parents who, she says, are
Ineffectual. Everything's such a mess. My family is clueless. Minos thinks that because he's king, he can do whatever he wants to. And my mother has lost it. There's no there. And we can't forget Androgeus. Obnoxious, conceited, gross. Thank God he's on his way to Athens to compete in the games. Then we have the middle child, me. Daddy's girl, Ariadne. Sadly, there is only one I love. It's Asterion. Body of a boy, heart whole, strange but also beautiful in its own way. Minos calls himself a king, and my brother a monster. I know who the monsters are. Minos thinks he has my life all planned out. I'll become some dull man's wife, go crazy from boredom. No! I have a plan of my own, and soon I'm gonna run, and I will take Asterion. Until then, I'll be demure, charming, sweeter than sugar, the perfect little princess. Nothing more and nothing less.
So when Androgeus returns to Crete, Ariadne says we'll stow away on the boat that brought him here. Oh, how sweet is it to think about that happy day when I can leave this all behind. I'll cheat the fates. I'll have my way and say a last goodbye to all my suffering. A stone can never fly, but it can sing.
Well, well, well.
The plot thickens.
And this little old god's heart quickens at such an interesting development.
But what's that old cliche about the best laid plans of bulls and men?
But hey, what's that?
If my old sea god ears aren't failing, it's coming from the palace.
Someone's wailing.
The judge's beloved son, gone, dead.
Eyewitnesses report the spear was almost aground when a sudden wind found the weapon and drove it on ahead.
As if a god's invisible hand, they said, guided it towards the sleeping boy's tent.
Can you imagine?
Blood, 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 blood!
Did I do that?
But I'm hell-bent on finding out who that nasty god could be.
Oh, wait a minute.
It was me. Call Daedalus, the useless sycophantic engineer, and bring him here.
But what does Minos have in mind?
You will build for me a labyrinth, a complex and riddled maze. One entrance, no exits. You have 100 days.
He handed me a drawing, a blueprint of some kind.
My golden boy dead. What a fiend Asterion thrives. The labyrinth will become the bull boy's home. There he will roam. Its paths as I would frustrate, twisting, turning, his soul churning, in sorrow and despair. No books, no company, no light. And in the end, disappointment will ferment into a boiling rage. And that is when I will impose on the Athenians a heavy tax. I'll tear apart their loving families, just as they did mine. Each year they'll terrify 7 of their sons and daughters, living fire for my masterpiece, the monster of the maze. All tender hearts, despoiled, trampled, broken. The king has spoken!
Yikes!
Talk about your anger issues.
Like, if I were to choose, I might do the same thing.
So once again I find myself defeated. The fates must laugh at my naivete. My dreams destroyed, my foolish hope depleted. They say Minos has a twisting strategy, a deadly scheme whose centerpiece is me.
Someone tell me what to do. The labyrinth is close to completion, and soon poor Asterion will be locked inside. Minos is a complete shit. But he is the king. And what am I? A girl. Nothing. Still, I will do my utmost to get us off this island.
That is one impressive adolescent.
So between those chickens, I'm not all that confident.
She is, after all, only 15.
Hey, here's an idea.
Let's hear from the queen.
I know. I see a dream. I held the stone. Terrified. Angry. Hungry. Monster.
Yeah, she's doing fine.
It spreads like a disease, like an infection for which there is no cure. A bleak futility, the loss of sleep, the loss of connection to anything that was once dear to me, the loss of everything, in fact, but grief. My sister's optimism is a wonder. She believes she'll get us out of here. She says,
I don't fear the distant thunder.
a storm is coming. The time is drawing near when I'll wander in the labyrinth built under, where I'll start my new career. No longer ruler of the stars, but the horrifying hybrid, Minotaur!
Book 3.
Mommy had a little cat, little cat.
What a laugh.
Mommy had a little cat.
His heart was black as tar.
She called her cat Asterion. Carry on.
Carry on.
That's my name, Asterion. I'm ruler of the stars.
Personally, there's nothing I find less attractive than self-pity.
Preach! It's true everywhere. Fathers often destroy their sons. Who do you think invented guns?
And if not their own boy, then any man's will do. You don't want to hear it, but you know it's true.
Genocide, massacres, killing your own. That's bad mojo, girlfriend.
That's testosterone.
First the queen, then the king, then the oldest princess. To this crazy bunch, I'm nothing more, nothing less than a dog. Something to play with and command. Roll over, play dead, eat from my hand. We'll take to the skies, as free as hawks. The king's loyal dog, he's actually a fox. When Ariadne made her bold request, I had no choice. But now I'm distressed. When Minos finds out about his daughter's twist to his own twisted plan, we'll be royally pissed. But like a good dog, I'm patient, waiting for the day when Icarus and I will fly away.
Now that's a man with an axe to grind.
But what of Ariadne's mysterious request? We need to keep abreast of that girl and what she's up to.
What has she asked the engineer to do?
My brother's in the labyrinth, wandering the obscene lengths of its cruelly twisted paths. Nothing, no hope to cling to. So it was up to me. I had to act. And I knew Daedalus had a secret. I threatened to tell the king everything he was hiding. The huge wings, the harnesses. I'd expose it all unless he gave me what I wanted. A tiny hole in the wall of the maze. Now very discreetly, each day, Asterion and I meet. We whisper through the tiny crack that Daedalus made. Me on one side of the labyrinth, him on the other. His strength is overwhelming, humbling. But what will the future bring? Won't the time come when he will no longer be my brother, but the grisly creature Minos has imagined? That's why I whisper, depend on me. I'm your sister. I'll save you. I have a plan.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. My heavy step, my breath, my mournful roll echo in the maze. This, with the sound of horn excoriating cryptic wall, strikes terror in the rats that surround me in the gloom. Like a corpse, I live this death alone. I listen to my sister's words, blind envoys from the living to the dead.
There is a plan.
That's what my sister said.
Asterion!
She calls me by my name and lights this sunless coffin like a flame.
There is no plan.
7 sons and 7 daughters, crossing my wine dark waters on the way to Crete. Their parents think of them as martyrs.
Actually, they're meat.
The boys are barely old enough to grow a beard. But here's something interesting, maybe even a little weird. One of those boys has volunteered.
And now, just to add a little fun, some folks say
That he's my son.
In fact, the boy's a prince. And since he was born under a lucky star, he says he'll slay the Minotaur.
His name is Theseus.
not yet 20, but he's already thrust his trusty sword into dozens of your species.
For us.
Still, the prince is not without some redeeming qualities. He's easy on the eyes and eager to please.
You will step soon on the Cretan sand, unflinching, smiling, handsome, tan.
But does the ruler of the stars stand a chance against such brutal confidence?
Will Ariadne save the day, or might it go another way?
So shut your mouth and shut the door!
It's Theseus versus Minotaur!
It came to me suddenly. That little man is key. The engineer Daedalus. He knows the maze. He must know the way through. And he'll tell me so that I can save Asterion. But I have to act quickly. The son of a king is on his way to kill him. Kill my brother in the dim halls of the labyrinth, where his last words will be,
Sister, you failed me.
and how can I live knowing that is true?
The girl came to me, full of despair. The solution was simple, nothing much to prepare. Find a spool of string, let it unwind, then follow it out. Nothing but twine.
Nothing but twine! What a fool I've been! A trick so simple a child could have figured it out. Still, this simple ball of twine will never mend what's broken. Asterion, you'll be free tomorrow.
Strange gardens prosper in this fertile tomb. Their blossoms open wider every hour I breathe their rank perfume. Eat petals from each withered flower, Despair and rage, unrelenting doom. Bitter, brackish, spoiled, sour man, or beastie, who can tell? Horns, devil, fury, hell!
I meant to tell you this. Remember that prince, Theseus? He's finally arrived, along with that sorry hive of sacrificial chops.
The young Athenians are frightened, cowed, but the handsome prince stands out in the crowd.
His oh so proud bearing, his abs, his pecs. See the citizens staring, craning their necks.
But Theseus' gaze focused on wit.
What?
Why, glory be!
It's our own little princess, Ariadne.
Am I put under a spell? Without reason, I tremble and cannot look away from him. Defenseless, speechless, dumb. My heart beats so rapidly. What is happening to me?
Horns!
What's going on? Could it be that some irresistible god asked Aphrodite's minion to descend from above and let his love darts fly?
Oh, all right. I confess. It was I.
Now would you look at that?
Ariadne's dropped the twine.
Devil!
Oh, do not blame me. I am lost. And yet he, Theseus, has discovered me.
Fury!
I will save Asterion.
He has vowed to me with words tender, pure, sacred.
I will enter the maze and guide your poor, traumatized brother to you and safety.
His voice so gentle when he asked me for,
The twine, babe.
and I gave it, secure in the knowledge that his love for me.
It's totally real.
Soon I will embrace my brother, the chill of these days forgotten, gone. Then Asterion, Theseus, and I will flee, together in harmony.
Ariadne! What a rat! I knew I'd get her in the sack. As for her bro, he won't outlive me. In time, he'll all forgive me.
Oh dear, I fear things have taken a very bad turn. Someone lit a fire, someone else is getting burned.
But she's not the first girl taken in by a silver-tongued prince with golden skin.
As for Asterion, he's waiting in the maze for Ariadne to arrive. In the dark, in many ways.
Fee, fi, fo, fum. Look out, hornhead. Here I come.
What is this new sound waking me from sleep? Footsteps. Sister! Ariadne! Walk no further! Let me come to you! I call her name again, but in reply, another's voice. Mocking. Sharp and cruel.
Your time has come to die. I am fighting. You are but the fuel. You have been betrayed.
Ariadne's fool.
Oh, sisters, what is this unholy game you've undertaken? I run to him, a monster, lost, forsaken. Hell is not the pushing of a boulder off a mountainside to watch it roll back with broken back and broken shoulder. Hell is the freezing scorn for who you are that transforms a faultless boy to Minotaur!
Epilogue.
Well, my work here is done.
Minos not only lost his favorite son, but he also lost his favorite daughter, Ariadne, after the slaughter. She fled Crete with her Athenian brave, which whom, big surprise, she forgave when he told her that Asterion was just too far gone. She pretended to believe him.
You'll excuse me if I yawn.
But don't get your hopes up. No happy ever after. He soon abandoned her.
Cue the laughter.
And with his sword and conscience clean, took the fortune 13 and returned to Athens, conquering hero.
Theseus 2.
Ariadne 0.
I also thought you might want to hear about that flying engineer. Those wings he built, guess what? They worked. But Icarus, that little jerk, flew too high and took a header. Now he's dead. Could not be deader.
It's time for a wee confession. I think I might have given you the false impression that I was calling all the shots. That, for example, I gave the princess the hots for the prince. or that I guided that spirit to a judge's tent. But let me be clear, I did cause Pasiphae to love that bull.
After that, I sat back and did nothing, knowing full well that all I had to do was let human frailty run its course.
What a pity, it could have gone another way.
What the? Was that me? I'm getting soft. I need to see.
It's mystery.
It's kelp.
All its daily riches.
I'm going home.
Ta-ta, bitches.
Hey guys, come back real quick. Hey.
I mean, we know. We know you know who they are.
Donald Kingston.
Lindsay Yulian.
Giada Vaccarello.
Nicholas Buzinski.
Alexis Roberts.
Dylan Young.
Thank you guys so much for coming out tonight and being such a fantastic audience. We will have your loved ones